And this is my official first YouTube video, and it is going to be my story time on when I was 15 and pregnant. Like, I'm going to talk about some experience I went through, like how I told my mom, like how I told my boyfriend, and so yeah, just keep watching if you're interested, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I have been with my husband since 2010, so 8 years. I was 14 years old when we got together. He was 16, but I don't want to go too much in depth on me and my husband's story on how we met and everything, just because I want to do a story time with him and like introduce him and like have him be involved too. So I delivered when I was 15 years old, and I was like, it was weird. It was like, I knew I was pregnant. Like, I didn't take pregnancy tests. Like, I didn't like tell someone, and like they helped me figure it out. Like I was just missing my period, you know, like my period was not there for like months, and so I just knew I was pregnant. So like I told my boyfriend right away. Like right when I knew that I was pregnant, I had told my boyfriend, and he took it really hard. Like he cried a lot about it, and like we were both really scared. And I remember like early on in my pregnancy, I was like throwing up one time, like morning sickness. And my mom had looked at me and she was like I know she was like kidding. Well, like she wasn't kidding, but like she didn't think that this was actually like what the deal was. But she had looked at me and she was like, if you're pregnant, like you're not keeping it, like you're not having a baby. And so hearing her say that, it like really scared me to where I didn't want to tell my mom. I didn't want to tell his parents. I didn't want to tell anyone. So I literally just let time pass by. Like I didn't go to the doctor's appointments. Like, well, I didn't make them because I didn't know like what I was supposed to be doing. But I didn't go to the doctors until I was 6 months pregnant. But I didn't tell anyone. And then we have this thing in like my small town. It's called JUCO. I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's like college baseball. And like here in town, it's like it's a cool thing to go do. So I was at JUCO. And I kept hearing people talk about me, like they'd be right across from me and they're like, is she pregnant? And then one of my friends, she got like really mad because she kept hearing it too. So she got really mad, and so she went and got like this huge sweater for me to put on. And then later that night I went and stayed the night at her house, and she was like, Alyssa, like you need to tell me if you're pregnant. And I was like, yeah, I think I am. Like I'm pretty sure I am. Like, and then I showed her my stomach because obviously like 6 months, like I was growing, you know. And so that my friend, she was really like helpful, understanding. Like she was really like just there for me. Like she was really like it's gonna be okay, like don't freak out, like I'll tell my mom if I have to, so that way my mom could be helping you. And I was like, no, like I don't want no one to know yet, and this and that. And so I had gone, like I was going to hang out with my other friend, and I had texted her because like her mom, I'm like really close with my friends' moms. And so I had texted my friend before I went over to her house, and I was like, your mom's gonna ask me if I'm pregnant, so I'm just gonna let you know now, like that I'm pregnant, and like I haven't told no one yet, but like I know your mom's gonna call me out on it. And as soon, like literally 3 minutes of being at her house, her mom was like, can I talk to you in the bathroom? And so like we went in the bathroom, and she was like, she called me Mija, and she was like, are you pregnant? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, does your mom know? And I was like, no, like I don't know how to tell her, like I'm really scared, and like I don't want her to make me like get rid of it or nothing. And like I just didn't know, like it was just so much to deal with, like being so young, and it was just scary, and like having so many people talk about it already, and like I wasn't ready for everyone to know, but it was like it was already so out there. And so my friend's mom ended up telling me that I had until the end of that night to tell my mom, or she was gonna tell my mom, because she was scared that like I was so far along and the baby needed to be seen. Like we needed to make sure, we needed to go to the doctor and make sure the baby was growing right and everything was okay with the baby. So a lot of people thought this was rude, but like it's just me, how me and my mom are. But so as I was there that night, I texted my mom about it and told her the truth. And she was at the bar at the time. I'm not gonna I'm gonna have videos about these topics like later on in my channel, but I come from a family that suffers from addiction and alcoholism a lot, almost my entire family on both sides. So I didn't I don't know, I didn't have a horrible life. There's people out there that had it, has it way harder than I did, but I did grow up a little rough and not the richest kid at school, or didn't have all the nice clothes, you know. And so my mom was at the bar, and instead of trying and talking to me about it, she ended up just getting trashed and telling every single person at the bar that she knew. And so then it really was all over town, all over, people were bashing my mom, couldn't believe that her daughter was so young and so pregnant, and bashing me because I'm so young and I'm pregnant. And I had people telling me you're never gonna finish school. So when I told my mom and everything, yeah, she just got really drunk about it. And then the next day she made me a doctor's appointment, and then she texted me, she's like, I'm not talking about it out loud yet, I don't want to talk to you about it yet. She's like, but we need to go to the doctor and confirm it and see how far along you are and everything. So I went to the doctor, and I was 6 months along, and I was so far along already that my first doctor's visit, they were able to tell me that it was a boy, he was a boy. And so that made us really happy, because that's what I wanted, was a boy. And then I had to figure out what I was gonna do about school, because I was on this program thing with the truancy officer, because I was a kid that didn't like to go to school, and my mom didn't always make me go to school, so that ended up getting us in trouble with the law. And so I legit had a attendance truancy officer making sure I was at school, making sure I was going to class, making sure I was passing my classes, if I didn't, threatening my mom to put her in jail, threatening to completely drop me and not let me graduate ever. And so I had to go to him first, and so I had him come to my house, because legit, if I was late or anything at school, he'd be on the door come on, you're going to school. So he had came over, and I sat down with him, and I was telling him and I told him the news, I was I'm pregnant, and he got so mad. He was you just ruined your life, and he was you're not going back to your school, I'm dropping you from here on out. So I had to fill out an application, and then do an interview with that school to make sure they were gonna let me in. And so that took a couple of weeks and everything. And I kept telling everyone I wasn't I never was planning to not keep going to school. I've always hated school, but I've never been the kind where it's I'm gonna drop out as soon as I can, or I'm not doing this. I always knew I was gonna graduate. So I ended up getting approved to go to that school, and I had started, and they had a daycare and stuff, so I was able to take my son with me, do schoolwork. And then my boyfriend, he had already graduated high school, so he just got a job. So that's how we were financially stable. We weren't depending on my parents to take care of the baby and what he needed, or we weren't dependent on his parents for the baby and what he needed. We did live with my mom at the time, just because I didn't want to move out yet, I was young. And so we did live with my mom, and then as soon as I turned 18, we got an apartment. But yeah, so when I first got pregnant, it wasn't so common for teens to be having kids, so I got a lot of criticism, and I got judged really bad. And people really looked down on me about it. It was when my friend's mom was do you regret it, don't you want to be a kid? And I kid you not, I swear that I had my son for a reason. I had such a rough childhood, and I was such an angry kid, and I was so just mad about everything, hateful towards everybody, didn't care about anything. I didn't feel I was loved by anyone, so that's what I showed back, was no love and everything. And then when I had my son, it was my entire life changed. Like my mindset, my my purposing, my like just everything around me. Like I do not promote teen pregnancy, of course. Like I don't think that you should just go out getting pregnant just because you're dating at 14 and 15 years old. It's definitely not for everyone, but like for myself and my experience, I can definitely say like I needed my son, and I am forever grateful that he came when he did. Like I don't regret anything of the process at all. I did have a really, like the pregnancy was really healthy, but I did have a really long, harsh labor, and that is because I was so young and my body was so small, and he was a really big baby. He was 8 pounds 9 ounces when he was born, 21 inches long. So like for my little 15-year-old body, like that's a big baby to carry and like conceive too and everything. So the labor was really rough. I was in labor for 38 hours, and then I pushed him for 2 hours, and he just got stuck in the birthing canal. So they had to like vacuum him out. So he had like that big old cone head and everything. And so yeah, labor was like rough. It wasn't like scary. Like I had my other pregnancies that I've had, they've gotten a little scary and risky, but with my first one, it like nothing was risky. Like the baby was super healthy. Like he was super healthy. I was super healthy. Like I had a good pregnancy. His dad had went and worked out of town when our baby just had turned 1, and so that was really hard on us. And I don't want to get too in depth on that because I want to make a video on like advice and tips and like my experience on like an what is it called? Oh, long distance relationship, and how we made that work, and how like being teen parents, like how we managed to make it work all these years. And because it has not been easy. We actually broke up for a year and a half when our son was one and a half years old. And in that time, it was like a lot of different emotions, a lot of crazy stuff happened, a lot of like feelings were hurt, a lot of people were hurt. I was like emotional, like I was just so crazy about it. And so like I want to touch those subjects on completely different videos. That way, like maybe my advice or my like my story will like any teen mom know that they're not alone, and then maybe it'd be like it would help them like prepare them if that's what they're about to go through, like or have to deal with when they go for a long distance relationship. I graduated in 2015. I had my son in 2011. I was a super senior. I did an extra year of high school just because I was so behind and just really didn't ever take school seriously. So, but I did graduate. I did get my high school diploma, which like I knew I just wanted my diploma. Like I could have easily went and got my GED, and like I wanted to at a lot of points, and there's nothing wrong with getting your GED at all, like at all. But just something in me, just like I wanted to walk across the stage. I wanted to get a diploma. I wanted to like show the truancy officer and like show my dad and like show my mom and show because my grandma was really upset when she found out I was pregnant. I wanted to show all these people like Dre was never, like my son was never like a downfall. He didn't hold me back from nothing. He didn't, he's like, I was not gonna allow him to be the reason why I didn't finish high school, or like I wasn't gonna allow people to tell me like I didn't do certain things in my life because I had a kid so young. Like I was determined to like, I'm going to graduate high school for my kid, my child. And so I did. I actually talked at my high school graduation as well about teen parenting and just what I've been through and everything. There's been a lot of trials and errors throughout the years, as a mother, as a wife, as like family problems, you know, like other people getting involved. I don't know. So that's why I like want to like have story times like this and stuff, so that people know like it's real, and like other people do go through it too, and also like maybe it would like help someone know how to handle a certain situation better. I don't know. So yeah, he was born 8 pounds 9 ounces, 21 inches long, super healthy, super big cone head. And he's gonna be 7 years old in 8 days. He has literally a soul of like he is just such a beautiful person. Like, you guys will see him on my channel because he wants his own YouTube channel, and I told him we could do videos and everything together, but he is just such a genuine, like, loving, respectful, like, beautiful child. I just love him so much. His name is Andreas. We call him Baby, like, since he was before he was born, we called him Baby Dre, but he doesn't like to be called Baby Dre anymore. If we call him Dre, it's just Dre now. In my opinion, in my eyes, like, in my like vision, I've heard so many girls, like, especially going to a school with teen moms and stuff, like, I hear a lot, like, people say a lot of stories and whatever, and I've heard so many girls say, like, I'm not letting the dad like be down by my legs when I'm giving birth, or I don't want them in the room at all, or I'm not giving the father the last name. And, like, to me, I'm a supporter of teen moms. I'm not promoting it. Like, I'm not like, oh yeah, go be a teen mom, that's the best way. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, I'm a supporter of those who are teen moms, and anything is still possible, whether you're a teen mom or whatever. Like, that has nothing to do with the way you're gonna live or the way you're gonna be successful, or that's not gonna hold you back. And so I heard a lot of girls say that, and to me, it's just like, you're definitely not ready to have a kid with someone if you don't feel comfortable with them watching their child also. Like, it's not just my kid, it was my husband's kid as well. Like, you're not ready to have a baby with that person if you're not comfortable enough with them watching your guys' child, something that you guys completely created, like, be born, you know? And, like, so much with a last name, there's definitely pros and cons to the last name, because it's like, if they're not around, of course they don't deserve the last name. But I remember, like, me and my husband were talking about our son's name, and I was like, oh, like, Andreas Adam Torres, like, that sounds so good. And he was like, oh, like, you're gonna, like, do Torres? And I was like, yeah, like, why wouldn't I? He's like, I don't know, like, I thought, like, you would want your last name. And he was like, but that makes me really happy, like, thank you. And I was like, to me, it's just like, if the father's there, not even, like, there for you, just, like, there for their child, like, they deserve to have the last name. That's just, like, in my head, in my opinion. It's not criticizing or judging anyone that hasn't done that. Just, like, in me and my family, my references, like, that's what I did and that's what I believed in. But yeah, so to me, it's like, if you're young and, like, you have a boyfriend and everything, and you're thinking to yourself, like, well, if I ever had a baby, I wouldn't want him watching birth. I wouldn't want the dad in the room. Then you should really, 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 like, reevaluate, just because that's also their child. Like, they're also welcoming their child into the world. It's not just your baby. And you should feel comfortable. You should feel comfortable with the father of your child watching their guys' child be. It's a beautiful moment. Like, you should want them to watch it. You should want them to experience it with you. You should want them by your side helping you. And so that is definitely my advice I can give. So I think that's it on this video. I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. Maybe when I do story times, I need to have, like, a little book right here, like, of note, like, steps on what to talk about, because I feel like I get so crazy into talking. I just jump from subject to subject and then bring up subjects that are irrelevant and then go back to the old subject I was already talking about. So I should probably do that. But like I said in my previous video, just give me some time to get used to this, please. Like, I'm so new to this, and I literally am teaching myself how to, like, control everything and organize everything and do everything the way I'm supposed to. So please just be patient. I hope you guys like this video. If you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because there is more content coming. And it's not just going to be on teen pregnancy. I want to I want to just have a whole channel of just, like, people that are like me. Like, I just want my channel to be for people like me knowing like, and know that they're not alone, and know that like people like them, like there is people that go through things like them, and like you can have nice things if you come from nothing. You can be like, you can be someone different if you come from an addiction family and think that that's the only way you can go. I just want this channel to be, like I said, like for people like me, and for this to be just like a safe place for everyone. So like, I don't know, that's just what my vision is, and I hope you guys like everything. Patience, everything is gonna be better. Eventually I'll get a good camera at least, and eventually I'll be better at editing my videos. Eventually I'll have like a background drop and everything. I'm just really trying to get used to it. I'm really trying to get in the groove. I'm really trying to just film what I can when I can, so that I could still like start putting out my videos, and getting everything just situated and put together. So yeah, that'll be it. I'm gonna wrap it up. But this was fun. If you guys have any videos that you want to see like soon, just go ahead and drop those in the comments below, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.